How's it going, everybody? I am back inside Disney to check out everything that's happening here for Pixar Fest, including all of the new decorations, the new Better Together parade, and the return of the Together Forever fireworks. So without further ado, everybody, let's go check everything out and bring you guys along. Let's go. Are your first signs of Pixar Fest here outside the parking structures. So you have new Pixar Fest posters right out here by where the tram drop-off area is. Really cool sight to see. Then they also changed the music that plays out here, which would also mean that they also changed the music that plays in the esplanade of the parks as well. Really cool stuff. Cool stuff all around. Good things are happening. Monorail Blue is back up and running, only this time it doesn't have any of the sprites of Mickey Mouse and his friends. It still has the platinum work on the sides of the monorail right there. You know, the platinum stickers, would you call it? I'm not even sure. The platinum skin of the monorail, it's still on there, but it doesn't have Mickey Mouse anymore or his friends. Alrighty, and over here at the Esplanade, we do have our first major update over here. So we can see that they added this row of banners, you could say, bow of ribbons, right? Bow of ribbons right here, and they're all in Pixar colors. So, you know, you have red ribbons, you have yellow ribbons, and then you got blue ribbons over there, and they're starting to follow suit on the other side of the Esplanade over there. But the big update here is also that they've also unveiled this whole Pixar Fest marquee between Disneyland and California Adventure. So we did see this a few days ago, you know, starting to go up just barely. And, you know, we could see, you know, that everything's just revealed already. You know, everything on the floor is there. You can go up to it now, take your pictures, take your memories, or whatever it is that you want to do. But look at that. It's looking great. Standing high and proud above the skies of Disneyland. And there's a big camera crew. There's a camera crew over there. I wonder if they're going to take pictures and all that stuff for Pixar Fest Media. This is great. This is awesome. Look at that. All around, there's Pixar Fest goodness. Pixar Fest goodness to check around over here. This is great. Look at that. Today feels like a wonderful day here to be here. Check it out. Awesome stuff. Now the question is, do I want to head into Disneyland or California Adventure? We shall find out soon. Maybe California Adventure. Alrighty, over here at California Adventure, right behind me is Buena Vista Street's new Pixar Fest marquee featuring a different selection of characters compared to Disneyland's, because unlike Disneyland's, this marquee right here features characters that you see here at California Adventure, such as the Incredibles family. You see Mike and Sully, you see Miguel and the Coco family, you know, everybody from Coco during Halloween time here at Disneyland. And then as for Joe Gardner, I'm not sure where he belongs here in California Adventure, but he is here, he exists, and he's a thing. So that's a really cool thing. Super nice addition to California Adventure's Pixar Fest marquee. Looking into Hollywoodland, I can already notice some new Pixar Fest banners on the street lamps over here on the side. So for instance, if I try to zoom in as I walk, we can see that there's one banner right there featuring the Parr family as well as Edna Mode and Frozone. If we go to the next one on this side, we do have the characters from Turning Red, such as May and Miriam and the rest of the characters I can't remember. Is it Priya and Abby? I can't remember. I haven't seen that movie in a minute. And then we do have the characters from Inside Out. If we go to this one over here, we do have Lightning McQueen and Mater. And then we do have Mike and Sully and Boo on that side. So that's really cool. So yeah, nice stuff. There's some new additions over here. Wanted to give you guys a better look at the Club Pixar sign that is right here outside of the Hollywood Studios backlot in California Adventure. So yeah, we can see that it's mostly black for the most part. Kind of reminds me of Powerline's color scheme, you know, given that it's black and yellow. But we do have the neon sign up there, and we can see that the Luxo lamp is going to be looking at us in different directions, you know, given the neon lights, you know, different how many prints there are of that on there. And then we do have the Pixar ball, and then we have some stars, these yellow lights, and we do have little, you know, little faces of the green aliens from Toy Story, right? And then, yeah, and then let's just keep walking in because there's already a few updates that I could see from here. Let me give you guys a look. Looks like most of the activity will be happening over here for Club Pixar in this little central area. But I wanted to show you guys that they do have these new Inside Out backdrops right here on the sides. They do have another Club Pixar sign up here. Let me give you guys a look of that at a center angle somewhat, more or less. Let's see if I can zoom in. There we go. There we go. So it's like the same sign that we saw up at the entrance, more back there. We've done another sign back there.
Imagination Campus is proud to...
Then there's this neon sign of Joy from Inside Out. Coming over here to the left, there's a neon sign of Miguel and Dante from Coco. And then we can also see that, you know, they changed some of the lamps to look like Pixar balls. Look at that. Looks like the lamps for the most part are the same. They just have stars and blue stripes on them to make them look like a Pixar ball. Then if I pan over here to the right, We can see that they added these show lights right here, so I'm sure this is gonna be a whole different atmosphere around here when at night. Did add this new Wall-E backdrop right here. This is really cool. Monsters Inc. My Consoli to the rescue has a 45-minute wait at 2 p.m. Who knows why? Pixar Fest face painting. Towards this side of the Hollywood Studios backlot, there's what looks to be like a new photo op area. So this actually, now that I see it, because I do see some characters from Cars down there, I'm sure that this is the drive-in scene. Like, this is supposed to be a photo op for the drive-in scene that you see in Cars at the end of Cars, you know, in the credit scene. So this is really cool because, you know, they do have, you know, these seats that you can sit down in, right, to take your pictures. And then you can also notice that some of the license plates behind the cars have some Easter eggs on them. You know, like this license plate says Pixar Fest, right? And then on top it says, you know, California. I mean, that's where Disneyland is, right? But on top of that, the numbers on the sides, 1955, represent the year that Disneyland opened. So that's a really cool feature. That's a really cool feature that Walt Disney Imagineering has added to these back ends of the cars right here, you know, the rear bumpers and whatnot. And then there's another one on this side. If I show you, it's the same thing, except it says Pixar Fan. And then on top it says California 1957. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not sure exactly what the 1957 is supposed to represent, but it's something. I'm sure it's a neat Easter egg or not to something, right? And then let's see, if I zoom in on this side too, there's some more photo ops right there. It says games on top. I'm not sure exactly what that's supposed to be. It looks like they're gonna have some cornhole over here, and I'm not sure what that lava water thingamajig over here in the middle is supposed to be. But this is cool. This looks like a nice, you know, area to, you know, kick it with your friends, you know, to have a little hangout and spend some time with your friends. I mean, after all, it is a celebration of friendship and beyond. But I do like the Easter eggs though that Disney did make for these photo ops. I mean, the one over there is for Lou, you know, that short film that was before Cars 3, I believe. And then we do have the reference to Lava, which was the short film that played before Inside Out back in 2015. I can't believe that was almost 10 years ago. And then if I zoom into the, you know, the main centerpiece over here, we can see that the centerpiece here says the Shortstop Drive-In Theater. Check that out. And I'm sure that this black empty void right here that we were looking at in the middle, that is supposed to be a screen of some sort. So I'm not sure what that's supposed to project later on or illuminate later on in the night. I'm sure it's going to be some clips from Cars maybe. I'm not so sure. But if we go to the bottom, we can see that there's some Pixar Fest signage right there, you know, with the Pixar ball, right? And if we go over to the left, you can see some sprites of Flo and Ramon from Cars. And the same can be said to what you can see here towards the right side, which is Flo and Ramon. Check that out. That is some cool stuff right there. I like the attention to detail. And there's more stuff to check out on that side. Let me give you guys a better look. I'm coming from that side of this whole setup, so I came over here to show you guys everything you can see on this side. So there's this centerpiece right here, right? I guess you could play checkers with your friends if you like. This is supposed to be a reference, a nod to that one short film that was accompanied but with A Bug's Life. So I can't remember exactly what that one is though. You guys are gonna hate me for that one, I'm so sorry. But there's that one, right, you know, with the older guy. And then we do have this Pixar ball toss right here. This is really cool. I think this is supposed to be from Luca or something, given, you know, the ropes and the wooden sticks, right? I mean, if I zoom in on that, you can see that better. And then there's another backdrop right here that says games. And then something that I wanted to confirm over here, given, you know, the text on the sides, it says that these games will be open from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. daily. So I'm assuming this is just going to be like a limited time offer over here at Pixar Fest, and this is actually really neat. Can't wait to see all of this in action. This is looking really interesting. They're offering a lot more on this side for sure for this year's Pixar Fest compared to the last run, which was all the way in 2018. But yeah, take a look at all of these chess pieces that you can see right here. This is really cool. I am definitely going to be taking advantage of this later on in the summer. This is going to be really fun. For sure, easy. And here we have another photo op here in the Hollywood Studios backlot. This one is of Buzz Lightyear, which is actually the Spirit jersey that I'm wearing. Check that out. I need to take a picture here later on. But this is actually, I like this. This is kind of like a reference to the photo op that existed for the previous Pixar Fest, which had a Buzz Lightyear backdrop, which was on that wall exactly, I think, all the way back there. So that's a really nice nod to that. And it looks really similar to what was there before too. I took a picture with that backdrop years back. I'll put it on the screen now for you guys to see. So I'm definitely gonna have to recreate that picture with this backdrop. I might as well actually just do it now. I got the Buzz Lightyear Spirit jersey on right here. Then I do have the Buzz Lightyear photo up right behind me. That is some cool stuff. What do you know? What are the odds, right? That's Disney magic for you. And the first thing that we got over here is the biggest update right here in the Esplanade is the new edition of the Pixar Fest marquee. New for this year, 2024, here outside of Disneyland and California Adventure. Let's check it out. Or Club Pixar signage on the bottom of these lamp posts over here, or these light posts. That's a lamp post. Then there's this other photo up off of The Incredibles, which is looking rather incredible to me, if you ask me personally. You know, you do have a silhouette of an Omnidroid right there. You have a city backdrop right there with some of those blue lines, right, to make it look like an action scene, right? And you do have the Incredibles logo right there. And then the attention to detail is over here too, because, you know, you do have the underminer right there as well on top of his drill that he uses right towards the end of the Incredibles. So that's a really cool reference. I do like that. And then on top it says, "We are incredible." So I'm sure that this is meant for those, you know, that come in groups, you know, with friends or family. So this is a really neat design. I do like that. These posters have been here for a while over here at the Hyperion Theater, but I wanted to show you guys them because I don't think I have before. So we do have this one right here featuring Pixar Fest sprites of Woody, Jesse, and Buzz from Toy Story. And then there's another one over there with Monsters Inc. characters. You know, you do have Mike and Sully and Boo. I said Sully weird, I meant to say Sully, my bad. Then we do have Hector, Coco, or not Coco, Miguel. Look, there goes me, right? Fake fan. Then we do have Mama Imerta over there. And then over here we do have Elastigirl, Frozone, and Mr. Incredible. Check that out. I still can't believe I called Miguel Coco though. That was the one thing I told myself I wouldn't do. Talk about getting faster access to Radiator Springs Racers. This is how the Lightning Lane is looking for the ride right now. It extends all the way over here to the front of Flo's V8 Cafe. I'm not sure if this line is supposed to be shorter than the standby queue. I'm hoping it is. I mean, it looks like, I mean, of course it's gotta be, right? But who knows? That's really interesting to see. It's so long. Why? This is a legendary move by Disney to bring back these Pixar Fest Cars movie posters back into Cars Land. This was really cool. I can't believe it's been 6 years that we haven't seen these, but you know, of course we do have this poster for Toy Car Story, right? Monster Trucks Incorporated, right? And then we do have Fueling Nemo. Look at that. That is funny. And then we do have the Incredicars, a Pixar animation factory film. Check that out. That is really cool. And then they do have, you know, all the references on top, right, saying that this is all from the creators of the, you know, the previous film that they mentioned over here, you know, this lineup of posters. This is really cool. I do like how they managed to make everything fit well into the Cars universe, you know, making all the Pixar characters into actual cars, right? And they actually do have actual figures of these cars, you know, Woody, Car Woody and Car Buzz in downtown Disney. They used to be over here outside of the entrance of Cars Land right here, which I'm walking to now. They were there years back, but now they're over there in downtown Disney towards, you know, the western side of it, you know, where the ESPN zone used to be and where the Star Wars Trading Post is at. That's where it's at now. No denying it. These are the reserved viewing areas for those who have the Better Together Parade dining package over here for the soft opening today, April 24th. Look at that. All these wooden chairs and tables. Well, the chairs aren't wooden, but you know, the tables are. Got these Pixar Fest signs. I'm not sure what that's all about, but they all have QR codes. Nice. Over here at the Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure Ride, they do have the new installation of these signs for the standby wait time and the lightning lane time. So this is going to be the new entrance. Well, it was the entrance for the ride before. This was the previous standby entrance location over here, but they brought it back over here on this side instead of having it over there all the way on the other side of the building. So they do have the new lightning lane entrance here as well. There you go. Looks like lightning lane is permanent. I already know, in honor of Pixar Fest, we have to get the Pixar Pier views over here. I still can't believe it's been 6 years that this opened during the last Pixar Fest. That's insane to believe, right? Almost a decade old, but here we are, 2024. Times are moving along, man. Here's the second Pixar Fest officially starting this Friday, but today, April 24th, is the soft opening. And once again, we lose Soarin' over California in exchange for Soarin' around the world. I'm assuming this will be here until the next Food and Wine Festival here at California Adventure, which I'm assuming would return next March. So March 2025 would be the earliest we could possibly see Soarin' over California back here in the parks. For all of you Soarin' over California fans, I feel for you. It's like Thanos snapped away the entirety of the Food and Wine Festival and Soarin' over California altogether. He just went, nope, I don't want it here. Gone. Everything to cover for California Adventure. Let's move on over to Disneyland. Buying sight to see. Somebody dropped their whole taco here on Buena Vista Street. What? I could have eaten that. Alrighty, so something interesting that's being done over here in the Esplanade is that they've actually blocked off the whole middle of this whole area over here. I'm assuming this is for filming, so that way, you know, Disney can begin their filming for, you know, the Pixar Fest media and for all of their, you know, advertising footage and whatnot. So they do have that whole area closed off, and they do have the cast members blocking all of them, so we can't get in, but we can go around it and go right into Disneyland. Alrighty, I made it to Disneyland. Let's see what's new over here. As I like to mention, every single time you come into Disneyland and the train pulls up to Main Street Station, every time you walk in, that's how you know it's going to be a great day here at Disneyland, especially with us getting a wave from the train engineer. Check that out. Awesome stuff. These are some Disneyland views right here. These are some real hardcore Disneyland daytime views. And then we also have Aurora from Sleeping Beauty as well. So that's another cool touch. Those curious, there isn't much to talk about over here on this side of Main Street with Main Street City Hall. They did put up the scrim around that building again, so that's covered up. And then we also, wait, no, I don't think that ever came down, sorry. But the scrim and the scaffolding for the fire department did come down. And it just looks like they gave the building some refresher, you know, some paint refreshment, you know, another layer of paint and whatnot. Just regular maintenance going on, but it's nothing too groundbreaking over here. Nothing too, you know, insane happening over here. Nothing crazy. Of course, you do have the new Pixar Fest marquee right here in the center of Main Street, USA, featuring characters from Elemental, Turning Red, and Toy Story, and WALL-E. Look at that, really cool. And then it looks like people are starting to get their spots reserved for Magic Happens over here. That does start in a few minutes. And then if I zoom in over on this side, show you guys the new character sprites. There we go. These are the Pixar Fest views. Another banner with Lightning McQueen up on top. And then we do have the Pixar Fest marquee there as well, accompanied by a banner that has Sadness from inside out. Where is it? There we go. There she is. I am walking into Adventureland now, and I wanted to report that these walls have been added to the right side of the entrance, and the entrance of the men's restrooms over there on that side still remain under refurbishment to this day. To this day. Those of you waiting to get an update on the return of Fantasmic, there isn't much to report on this side of the rivers of America, but I did notice that those wooden pallets, those wooden poles that were sticking out of the water right there, they're gone. So I'm not sure exactly what those were there for. I'm sure that was there for some sort of, you know, maintenance on the water fountains, which is underwater right here. So yeah, I'm sure that's all just speculation. I'm not exactly sure what that was all about. All the scaffolding that was right here in front of the Tom Sawyer's Island, all of that is gone. All of the, you know, the scrim that was around that as well, that is gone too. So yeah, it's just a clear Rivers of America view over here. There's nothing else that we can see over here. From what I understand, they are testing some lights after hours. Like that's what I heard. But in terms of what we can see here during, you know, the operating day of Disneyland, during, you know, in broad daylight, there's nothing to report. And we actually haven't heard anything from Disney about Fantasmic. Like, nothing new has been announced about the new finale, the new scenes that are coming. I mean, we do know that Peter Pan is coming back, that Peter Pan is replacing the Jack Sparrow scene right from Pirates of the Caribbean. And that's all I can remember at the top of my head, and that we're just getting a new finale. We still don't know what the new finale is, so we're just gonna have to stay tuned for that. For my Haunted Mansion fans watching this, I'm going to keep it short and straight to the point for you guys. There's nothing to report over here. Everything looks the same. Guys, I think I'm lying. I don't remember these walls being so pushed back as they were before. This walkway does seem to be a little more wider now. So I'm not sure if they're going to push the fence, you know, the fence limit for the Haunted Mansion more back so that there's more walking space over here in this walkway of New Orleans Square. But if I zoom into the Haunted Mansion, you know, as I said, there's nothing new. Interestingly enough, though, you can see that you can see the speakers that they use for the Haunted Mansion Holiday outside of the right there, you know, to play the music box that plays outside of the queue. So that's interesting. You know, all those speakers are still there. I think they took them out and then they just put them back for some reason. I'm not sure. And then there's a new camera installed there. I don't remember seeing that before. But other than that, there really isn't much to see here at the Haunted Mansion. But yeah, let's go ahead and turn our attention over to the TIANA'S Bayou Adventure Ride. We can see straight up, you know, they are finishing the roofing of the barn building right there, right? You know, where the you know, that watermill used to be, where the watermill is, you know, on the side right there. So that's getting finished, that's getting finalized. And let's see, there's more flower work on top, there's more foliage on top as well. We can also see that the bayou trees in front of the ride as well have more leaves. So I'm going to check that out for you guys in just a moment, but I wanted to show you guys this angle of the ride for sure. Looking at TIANA'S right now, and oh yeah, you could definitely, whoa, I did not see those trees. Alrighty, I'm right here in front of TIANA'S Bayou Adventure. Let's take a look. Let's zoom in for you guys. So of course, you know, we do have the usual flower work on top. I can't believe Mama Odie's boat was supposed to be on the top and they scrapped that idea. That's crazy. And then we do have, you know, of course, more foliage, right? The foliage just keeps progressing downward to the bottom of the mountain, right? Where the former Briar Patch used to be. And then the TIANA'S Foods Water Tower is now covered with scaffolding. I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe that's so that they can install the nighttime lighting that they need for the exterior of the ride, right? And then we do have the bayou trees looking more alive than ever with more leaves and more of those bayou, I don't even know what you would call it. If you can see them more on this tree over here to the left, you know, those things hanging down from the branches right there. I'm not sure what those are called, but those really bring the bayou essence to the exterior facade of the TIANA'S Bayou Adventure Ride. So that's really neat. It's crazy because, you know, there's a drastic difference between the trees you see from the Haunted Mansion and, you know, Critter Country. You know, Haunted Mansion has some more gloomy looking trees, right? And then you have some bayou trees right here in front of TIANA'S Bayou Adventure. And then you have pine trees over here in the entrance of Critter Country. So you get all kinds of like trees that you can see here. There's a whole variety. It's a buffet of trees, which you could probably call it, right? A whole buffet of trees that you have right here in this middle this middle walkway of Critter Country. And then if I turn the camera over this way, let's take a look towards this side of the ride. So this would be the future ending of it, right? And then, you know, if you look over, nothing much to see other than the fact that they really did some cleaning in there. They cleaned up some of the mess that was down there. You know, you don't see a lot of that metal work that was down there, you know, that metal piping and those dirt bags. Those are all gone. They do have these wooden platforms here though to give the workers some access, right? The workers or the Imagineers some access on top of the water track that is soon to be filled with water down there. So that's really neat. Let's walk over to this side to see what we can see. I stepped back from the mountain a little bit. I wanted to show you guys everything happening on this side. We can't really see much because of the, you know, the trees, branches and leaves and all that, but there really isn't much to see. They did clean up some of the mess as I mentioned before, but if I zoom in, you guys can see that there is a newly placed trash can. I am not sure what that's all about, but it's there and it exists and it's real. Let me see if I could zoom in just a tad more for you guys. There we go. Now the camera's focusing on it, focusing on it way better. So there we go. And then we also have a box right there full of what? I can't really tell. Some metal, it's not really metal, it looks like plastic to me. Some plastic circles, plastic rings, I guess. I'm not sure what that's for. Maybe it's for like some water piping or something like that. I'm not sure. But you know, of course, you know, the water track is still covered in dirt and whatnot. You know, there's still a little ways away from being complete, you know, in terms of converting Splash Mountain to Tiana's by Adventure over here. But I do like how Tiana's by Adventure is looking in the night at Walt Disney World, and I can't wait to see how that looks in its entirety too once all of that is done. The thing that I've noticed on this angle of Tiana's by Adventure is that the bridge that holds the water track up on that elevated, you know, floor of the ride is starting to be covered in what looks like moss right there. So that's pretty cool. And then there's some plastic or some gray boxes on top. I'm not sure what that's all about. And then of course, you know, the more of the mountain is being covered in foliage and whatnot. It's an elevated view from the Hungry Bear restaurant. So if I zoom in on this side, of course, you guys have a better view of the Bayou trees that are placed outside of the 50-foot plunge of the ride, right? So take a look at that. I mean, we do have that Bayou essence, right? That Bayou atmosphere with all of the plants, all of the plant work right there, right? That looks really nice. And then, let's see, it looks like there's less gray, you know, less gray. Because before, what I mean by that is the mountain's facade, you know, the mountain's rock work, you know, all of the new stuff that they added was originally gray. And it looks like they finally started to paint over that. So it's looking great. It's looking more formed, more well-formed, more complete, right? More finalized. And then there's, you know, of course, the more green paint work on top of the original Splash Mountain facade as well. You know, the color green is just taken all over Tiana's by Adventure Splash Mountain, right? And then there's some more plants up there as well that I don't think were there before. And then there's some more plants growing on this bottom section of the mountain as well. Take a look. Very nice. That is actually really cool. Now let's go over to that side and see what I can find for you guys. As I'm walking towards what would be the exit of the ride, I'm noticing some more plants up there, some more live, real plants on top of the mountain work right there. You can't tell me that wasn't already there. There's no way. Alrighty, I'm standing right here outside what would be the future entrance of Tiana's by Adventure. Unfortunately, everything is still covered, so I can't really see what's going on behind all of that scrim right there. So there really isn't much to report on this side. And let's see, what if I zoom in over there? It's the same thing. If anything, there's just more wooden platforms, it looks like. I don't think that was there in previous weeks, right? So there we go, there's that. I'll give you guys a closer look in just a minute. I'll start walking over there, see what I can find. And you know, that salt mine entrance, that's what I'm calling the salt mine entrance. I don't know if that's what it's gonna be. That's what I'm just calling it for now. That purple wall material that we saw a few weeks ago, that's gone. That is now covered in what looks like some black scrim, some black tarp right there, some black screen. I'm not even sure what you could call it, but yeah, that's covered and looks like they're one step closer to being complete with everything. Now, if I zoom out and start to walk over here, I'm trying to see if I can find anything as I go, but it looks like everything is just about the same. It doesn't look like they're painting this section of the mountain green, unlike the you know, the front of it over there. I mean, there's some plants growing right there, but I think that was already there in previous weeks. That was already there with Splash Mountain formerly. So it doesn't look like they're adding more of foliage over here or greenery to Splash Mountain or Tiana's by Adventure. You know, now that I'm walking away from Tiana's by Adventure, I started to think about the animatronics that it's gonna have. Those animatronics, they look so good. They look so fantastic. They look like the actual characters. I mean, you know, Louis the alligator, right? I like his. His looks cool. Mama Ori's looks absolutely legit, like straight from the movie, like as if the characters just came out straight out of the movie. So I'm really curious, you know, because it's cool because, you know, Splash Mountain, it had a ton of animatronics as well, but a lot of them, you know, were pretty dated, you know, for this day and age, right? But these new ones for Tiana's Flight Adventure look crazy good. They look great. So I'm really curious to see how Walt Disney Imagineering will implement those into the ride over here at Disneyland. I'm sure they're already installed at Disney World. I mean, they're already doing test runs of the ride. They already have music going. They already have the nighttime lighting going. So I'm sure we'll be able to see how all of that has been done over there and how that will look over here at Disneyland all together very soon. Next update is looming, literally, because it's over there at the Fantasyland Theater, which you can see in the middle of your screen, right behind the Dumbo ride. Yeah, actually I lied. This is my next update over here. This is a new update over here at It's a Small World, you know, right in front of the entrance of the ride. There's this new stage setup over here. I'm not sure what that is supposed to be. Is that supposed to be some sort of photo op? I'm not sure. That just appeared as of today, April 24th. I think today's the first day that's there. I'm not sure. I've never seen that before. That's a whole new discovery for me today. I feel like I'm discovering dinosaurs. I understand that may have been really corny, but don't mind my dry sense of humor, guys. It's a thing, and it's real. Back to our regular scheduled programming. Pixar Pals Playtime Party is soon to take over the Fantasyland Theater here for Pixar Fest starting this Friday at Disneyland, everybody. I'm not sure if they're having a soft opening for this today. It doesn't look like they are, though. Everything's a little dark in there. I mean, this was confirmed to be some sort of daytime activity that you could participate in. So, you know, nothing's lively yet. There's nothing happening. So I'm pretty sure this is something that will open to the public on Friday, April 26th. So let's give you guys a closer look. Alrighty, I moved closer to the front of everything to give you guys a better look. So first off, we can see that there's these tables right here on the side. I'm not sure what these are for. I'm assuming this is going to be some sort of area for arts and crafts, right? Like they usually have for special events. Like they usually do it for, you know, Festival of Holidays and the Food and Wine Festival. And I think Lunar New Year as well over at California Adventure. And if we take a look over here, there's some banners right there. There's some flags. I'm assuming those are from Brave, right? Because there's a whole lot of Pixar Easter eggs over here. So I'm not sure where those banners are from, but they look like they're from Brave. And then if we move the camera down, we can see the entryway for this whole playtime party will be through one of the Monsters Inc. doors. At least, you know, that little metal framework that holds the doors all together, right? And it actually looks like you're going through Boo's door. If you could see somehow, you could see some of the flower prints right there. It's a pinkish looking door. It looks just like Boo's from Monsters Inc. So that's a really exciting Easter egg. And let's see. If I move over to the left, you guys could see just a tad more. We could see the Circus Dome from the Bugs Land, right? The former Bugs Land over at California Adventure. There's a watermelon from Heimlich's Choo Choo Train, as well as the Casey Jr. Train's box that used to be in the Bugs Land as well over at California Adventure. Little miniature replica of it. And then there's also some lights right there. So I'm assuming they're going to be filming here later tonight for, you know, media night here for the soft opening of Pixar Fest. And then there's also a Radiator Springs backdrop on that side as well. And then there's also the van from Onward too. So yeah, there's a whole ton of Pixar Easter eggs over here. And we can also see the floors decorated with a bunch of squares as well. And then, you know, the whole setup on the back of everything, you know, where the stage is, you know, all of that is covered in a bunch of squares. You do see the Pixar ball on the sides right there on the top of these, you know, wooden poles or wooden frameworks. What you call it, the wooden framework right there, right? And then the Pixar lamp is right here in the middle of everything, where the Mickey Sorcerer hat used to be for the Mickey and the Magical Map show, and where the sun used to be for the Lion King show that they had here not too long ago as well. So yeah, Pixar Fest really took over this whole area, definitely, for sure, easy. Of course, you can't forget this new Pixar photo op that's right here outside of the Fantasyland Theater. You know, you see the Pixar logo right in the front with the Pixar Luxo lamp right there in the front, and then the background is just a bunch of squares. I'm not sure what those squares are supposed to represent. I've seen those a little everywhere. I'm assuming they're supposed to be like the doors from Monsters Inc. That's the kind of energy that I get from those. Here's another look at the Radiator Springs photo op, as well as the Onward van that's right here on the right side of the Fantasyland Theater. But it looks like if I go more towards the right, you can't really see much, so my view is obstructed on this side. But the good thing is that there's something else to look at over here too. Actually, there's one more thing too. I didn't see that. I'll take a look at that in a minute. But there's this new Pixar Fest, this new Pixar photo op right here with a bunch of squares and a bunch of Pixar balls right there. That's actually really cool. I like the aesthetic of this thing. You know, it's a bunch of squares, really cubic, really modern, right? Definitely gives you like, it kind of reminds me of an arcade machine, right? Like a little video game arcade machine where everything is 8-bit. I like this. This is really cool. And over here, I didn't realize this. This is actually a photo op for Luca, because you can see the cat from Luca as well, and you can see some of the props. You know, they're clearly props that you would see in the coastal line of an ocean, right? So, I mean, that looks really cool. You do see some of the stonework, some of the wood, some of the ropes. That is actually really nice. I can't wait to check that out once it's done. And of course, there's more lighting right there towards the side. So I'm sure they're going to be filming something here later tonight for the Pixar Fest previews. And there's another photo up towards the left side of the Fantasyland theaters that I couldn't see originally. This one is going to be themed after Up. You can see some of the balloons hanging on top right there. Or they're not hanging, they're actually flying. They're flying on top right there. Then we also have the My Adventure book right there as well, and that book is open to say Adventure is out there. And I think I see Russell on the side as well. I can't really tell from here. I'm not sure who that character is supposed to be on the side, if that's even a character at all. And then let's see, if I move the camera down, you can kind of see the Up house, right, just kind of flying right there in front of what looks like to be a picture of clouds. That's what I can kind of see from here. And I think I see Wally on the bottom. No, that's not Wally. That's one of the Monsters Inc. Scream cans. Yeah, it's really hard to see everything on camera, but in person, it's a little easier to make these things out. So hopefully you can kind of get the idea of what you can see on screen right now. But yeah, this is really cool. They really went all out in this area for sure. Oh, and behold, the Astro Orbiter is back in action once again after a several month-long hiatus, if that makes sense. It's been down for so long, and it's officially opened back up. And I was here a few nights ago to see this in action at night, and it looks a whole lot better too. It looks like there's a different lighting setup. I mean, if anything, it's the same. They might have just replaced the bulbs or something like that. But it looks a little different to me. I know there's different lights on the rockets for sure, though. They're brighter than they were in previous years. So it is nice to see the Astro Orbiter getting some love and care here in Tomorrowland. This is a new development. There's some trucks over there with some lifts on them. It looks like they're taking down the ribbons for Pixar Fest. I'm not sure why they would do that. Maybe it's because of the wind or something like that, but yeah, that's happening. Look at that. The World of Color fountains were just being tested. Oh, there they go again. Look at them. Skyrocketing to the skies per usual. Maybe it's just testing for tonight's performance of World of Color 1. Just imagine how cool it would have been if there would have been a Pixar-themed World of Color, though. That would have been awesome. Alrighty, managed to catch a spot for Better Together. Today's the first ever public performance. Can't wait to check it out. I managed to get a spot over here right next to me, thankfully, but I'm telling you guys, I'm the wannabe today, but I did bring my camera, so I'm going to be live streaming with my phone, and I got my camera to film it for you guys. Can't wait to check it out. Really curious. I'm really curious how those new floats are going to look. Gotta check it out. I'm here. This is happening. It's real. We are about to see Better Together for the first time in Disneyland history. This is crazy. April 24th, 2024, soft opening. Take a look at this. The Club Pixar lights are starting to turn on over here after the first performance of Better Together. Check it out. Look, neon lights everywhere, and then there's some more down there as well. Look at that. That is some cool stuff. You have Miguel's over there, and then over there you have Joy's. Very cool. So I don't know if you guys know this, but back in 2022, when all of the nighttime spectaculars came back to Disneyland, you know, the Electrical Parade, Disneyland Forever, and World of Color, Disneyland hosted a live stream that let people from all around the world watch the return of the Electrical Parade live, right? So that was cool. And once they finished live streaming, they interviewed guests about what they thought about the Electrical Parade and Disneyland Forever, like once that show was done. And I came out on the interview. I actually made an appearance on that interview. I talked about everything, you know, the Electrical Parade. I got to talk about the World of Color. I also talked about Disneyland Forever, but they didn't use my take on that one. And I'm not gonna lie, when they were now talking about Disneyland Forever, I kind of had like a little brain fart in there. So I could see why they didn't. But anyway, yeah, so that happened, and I was hoping that I would get interviewed for Better Together. So I came back to where the media was earlier, and they're gone. Everyone literally wiped everything clean. It's like as if nothing happened here earlier. Insane. But this is where I watched the parade. It was in this very spot right here. Right here. It was in this very spot. This is where history was made, guys. That's where history was made. course, my Disney visits are never complete without a plate of pasta with chicken Alfredo from the Plaza Inn. Here we go, guys. Of course, just wanted to catch a meal after the Better Together parade. Here we go with a pretty obstructed view of the Sleeping Beauty Castle all the way over there. If you guys could even catch it, it's all the way back there. There we go. But yeah, you guys already know how to get my pasta over here. Say less, I'm ready to dig in. Let's go.
Lightly to keep me company for infinity and beyond.
That's all of what there is to cover today here at Disneyland. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, giving you guys the information on the soft opening of Pixar Fest here at Disneyland. As a reminder, it does officially return this Friday, April 26th, 2024. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, do be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this from the park. You can also check out my Instagram and TikTok, which could be found at Inside Disney Official. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves.